Alright, it's Henry again, and I have yet another work in progress video for my 1 to 100 scale Mercurius and Vayeate. And let me just show you what I've done so far. Let's see, I'm trying to show you stuff that I haven't shown you yet. I guess I'll start out with the side skirt. Here is the gigantic side skirt for Mercurius and Vayeate. And what I did was I took the Virgo side skirt that I already had, made a recast of it, and then applied epoxy putty to the outside of it, and basically just did all this. Sanded it down on the inside there, made this little arc, sanded it all down on the outside, scribed a panel line, if I can get it to focus. Scribe that panel line on the outside there. It's not completely done. I still gotta, add some putty here and there, shape up a few things, sharpen a couple of these angles, but it's about 99% done. Well, maybe 95% done. And then it'll just fit on the hip like that. And there you go. I know it looks really big, but that's the way it's supposed to be. Mercurius and Vayeate have really large side skirts. Anyway, next up, I guess I'll show you the shoulder armor. This is the shoulder joint, same exact shoulder joint I used on Virgo and Virgo 2. I've just got it here for just to show you shoulder armor on it. And there you go. It's actually really simple. I made the whole thing out of pla plate. And it's just a simple rectangular piece of armor with thruster on the front and the back. That's pretty much all there is to it. Really simple. Much different than the shoulder armor on Virgo and Virgo 2. Anyway, next up is the head, and a lot of people have liked what I've done with the head, the people that have seen it on Twitter and Facebook. What I did for the head, instead of basing it off of the Virgo head, I made a small little box out of pla plate and then just filled it with resin and had a resin cube essentially, and then just used, let's see, my hobby saw. Hobby saws are awesome. If you don't own one, you should. It's one of the most useful tools you'll ever buy. Hobby saw, X-Acto knife, and sandpaper, and just spent a few hours sculpting that resin cube into this Mercurius and Vayeate head. And there you go. Let's see. Got panel lines going around the back of it. Detail on the front. I made the little round thingies on the front out of pla plate. And the rest is all just sculpted resin. And the faceplate here, I was originally really wanting to implement a hinge system, not like an aftermarket joint. I don't have any aftermarket joints that would be small enough for this, but I was going to have like a little sliding hinge where it could be in the closed position like this and then be able to go forward a bit and then flip up, but I just couldn't get it to work out. So the way I'm going to do it is my plan B, as I called it, just using small metal pins like I use for all kinds of stuff, and then just plug it in closed position and then plug it in the open position up here. So I think that's pretty much the only way it's going to work. But overall, I do think it's really cool. I really like the fact that the faceplate is going to be removable. And I've got two color camera eyes because Vayeate has a, if I can get it to stay in place, anyway, you get the point. Vayeate has a pink camera eye, and of course I just dropped it on the floor. Mercurius has a green camera eye. I've made one of the antennas. Here's Vayeate's antenna. I'm going to be recasting the head because obviously I need two of them, but there won't be any point recasting the antennas, and I'll just, once everything's said and done, I'll just be gluing it on top of the head like so. And I'll do the same thing for Mercurius's antenna. Next up, speaking of Mercurius, is the beam gun. Now this is the plastic beam gun. Comes with the 1 to 144 scale no grade Mercurius. As you can see, it's pretty much hollow on one side. And I just used it as a reference to make mine. I used the handle, and the main body part here was a recast from Virgo 2's beam rifle that I made. And I made a cast of that, cut off most of it, and then just built the Mercurius's beam gun around it. So there you go. I think once I get it painted, I'm going to add a little clear lens right here on the sight. I think that'll look pretty good. A little piece of metal there for the, actually 2 pieces of metal for the barrel. And yeah. And last but not least is Vayeate's beam cannon. Now here's the plastic version from the 1:144 scale no grade. I'm not quite done with it. It's, I don't know what, 75% done, I think. The front part is pretty much finished. All I really got to do is add the little scope on the top there and it'll be done. And I made this little part. I actually really like the way that turned out with all the holes in it. And I think I got them, they're not perfectly even, but I think they're relatively even enough that I don't think anyone's going to complain about it. I certainly won't. And this little part right here is on a polycap. It can rotate just like it does on the no grade. And this part back here is pretty much just a resin block at this point. It'll be able to separate because it connects to Virgo's back in 2 separate parts, but you'll see more of that later on. Anyway, so all I got to do for the beam cannon is just add some more detail on this back end, and then add a place for the energy cable to connect. Put the little scope on top of there, and it'll be pretty much finished. So that about does it for everything I've got to show you this week. Everything has been started on for these 2 kits, meaning that there's nothing that I haven't even started on yet. So everything is underway. Some of the stuff is even finished, like the Mercurius's beam gun, for example. Shoulder armor's finished, head is finished. The legs are pretty much, legs and arms are pretty much finished, actually. This side skirt is very, very close to being finished. All I've got to do is continue working on the torso and the Vayeate's backpack, which, as you can see, I haven't done much with because I've been working on all this stuff. And Mercurius's crash shield as well. It's exactly as it was last time you saw it. This won't take very long to finish, though, because, I mean, the crash shield is really simple. I'm not really going to attempt to estimate how long I've got left on this project, but I think I am closing in, because like I said, legs and arms are done, waist sections are done, the weapons are coming along very, very nicely. Pretty much all the hard work I've got to do now is on the torso and the backpack and the crash shield. So that about does it for this work in progress video, and with that, I'll see you guys next time.